Okay, in this video, we're going to work on the 10.2 notes. So it's about finding arc measures. So the arc, let me just tell you, is this piece outside. This is an arc, okay? It's like the crust of the pizza, okay? This is an arc. All around the outside, those are arcs. Okay, so the first note says a central angle is an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle. So therefore the rays will equal radii, that means plural radius. Here's the center of the circle. This is the central angle. Okay, that's the central angle, and these are radii, and they're the rays of the central angle. Okay, a minor arc is part of an arc that measures less than 180 degrees. Okay, so here's a central angle right here. This is a central angle, and this is your arc out here. That arc is less than 180 because a whole circle equals 360, right, all the way around, and this is not half, it's probably more like a quarter. Okay, a major arc, so let me just use this highlighting again. This is minor arc. Now we're going to go to major arc. This is going to be a major arc. The major arc is going to be greater than 180. That's going to be your major arc. Okay, so it's an arc that measures more than 180 but less than 360. A semicircle is an arc that with endpoints that are the endpoints of the diameter, so it measures exactly 180 degrees. Okay, so you could call this right here a semicircle. Okay, congruent circles. For two circles to be congruent, they have to have the same radii. So if this is 7 and this is 7, then you would say that these circles are congruent. A congruent arcs are arcs with the same arc measure in the same circle, this is key, in the same circle or in congruent circles. Okay, so let's see. What do we think about this? So this, and I should tell you this part as well. This is 100 degrees. That's your central angle. That's also your arc's measurement. Notice the marking here. This marking tells me that the circles are congruent because they have the same radii. Okay, and if the outside arc is 100, it's going to be the same inside. So the arc length of a central angle is the same as the central angle itself. Okay, we're going to keep on going. Okay, so there's some key concepts now that we're ready to explore. So the minor arc is going to be 50 degrees because the central angle is 50 degrees. The minor arc is 50 degrees. Notice that a minor arc gets named using 2 letters. Okay, the measure of the major arc. Take your 360, subtract away the minor arc, and you get 310. So where is that major arc? It's here. All right. Oops, sorry. Let me just keep going around. That is your major arc. When you name it, you need 3 letters. Okay, so you can call it, we can talk about that. We had the measure of arc ADB and make that arc symbol on top. See this little symbol? Be aware of that little symbol. That means you are talking about an arc and not an angle. Okay, so now we have some postulates. The measure of an arc formed by 2 adjacent arcs is the sum of the measure of the 2 arcs. Okay, so let's figure that out. The measure of, I'm going to call it arc AB, and I'm going to do that, oh sorry, not AC. I'm going to call it mark AB, measure of arc AB, plus the measure of arc CA. What is that going to equal? The measure of arc CAB. Okay, so what did I just do? I just said that if I want to do this arc, that's AB, and then I did CA, so let's do that arc, CA. Don't you agree that that must equal this whole thing? There you go. And I had to put my little arc symbol on top of CAB. Do you see how CAB is going to be greater than 180 just by the way you look at it? Okay, these are going to be minor arcs over here, minor arcs here and here, and this is going to be a major arc. And I'm going to say use 2 letters. Then I'm going to say use 3 letters. Okay? All right, what else do we have here? Let's keep going. Now we have some examples. This will be fun. So look at this. What I know right now is if the central angle is 110, this arc is also 110. Okay, then I know that if this is the diameter, then on the bottom of the circle, I have to have 180 degrees. This must be 80. So I'm going to make this 80. And then this guy must be 180 because this angle is 180. So now that I did that, can I answer these questions? Arc RS is going to be 110 degrees. Now, when they say arc RTS, that means you've got to go this way. Okay, RTS. That's going to be 180 plus 80. So that's going to be what, 260. So that's a big number. That's a major arc, isn't it? Wait, did I do that correctly? Hold on a second. 180 plus 80. Yep. Okay, so it's going to be 260. So then the next one, RST, that is going to be what? It's going to be a semicircle. And a semicircle has to be 180 degrees. Okay, so this is a minor arc, this is major, and this is a semicircle. Notice how a semicircle is also 180 degrees and it also has 3 letters. So that's 80. Okay, so let's keep going. So looking, oh, I'm so sorry. I've made a math error. You guys didn't catch it. I said that this was 110, but I actually mentally thought it was 100 degrees. So let's fix this. So come back. If you caught it, that is awesome. So this is 70, not 80, right? Let me get rid of that. So that's going to make this plus 70, and that'll be 250. I believe everything else is correct. Okay, good. All right, so there we have it. On either side of the circle, we have our 180 degrees. Okay, so now we're going to read this. A recent survey asked teenagers if they would rather meet a famous musician, athlete, actor, inventor, or other person. The results are shown in the circle graph. Find the indicated arc measurements. Okay, each of those angles are central angles. Okay, so what's the measure of AC? So if we go AC, let's see what we're going to do. I would say, because I have only 2 letters, this has to be a minor arc. So I'm going to have to go the shortest way possible to do AC. So I'm going to go this way. That's AC. It has to be less than 180. So AC is going to be 108 plus 29, which equals 137. So that works out. Okay, the measure of arc ACD. Now you have to do this because it didn't convey. Where do you think ACD is going to go? Well, we already have A, here's C, and it's going to go all the way across. So I can add up 29 plus 108 plus 83, and you should be getting 292 degrees. Okay, the next one is ADC. Okay, so let me erase this so I don't confuse things. So ADC, it has to be greater than 180 because it has 3 letters. So start at A, D, ADC. So I'm going to add up 79 plus 61 plus 83, and I'm getting 223 degrees. So that's good. Then EBD. EBD. Oh, look at this. There's an easy way to do this and a hard way. Look at what I'm going to show you. Let's highlight instead. Okay, so starting at E, I'm going to come all the way around. So if I want that big gray arc, I could add up all those numbers. Or I can say 360 minus 61 and get 299 very quickly. That is the easiest way. The other way would have been 108 plus 83 plus 29 plus 79, and you would still get 299, but it would take you a lot longer. Okay? All right, example 3. Tell whether the red arcs are congruent. Explain why or why not. Okay, so to have the arcs be congruent, they have to be the same size circle plus the same size central angle or arc. Okay, so let's look and see what you think. So they want to know if the red arcs are congruent. So I see them in the same circle. So here, if this is 80, this is 80. If this is 80, this is 80. So I'm in the same circle. And I have the same central angle. So yes. So these arcs, so I'm going to say CD arc is congruent to EF, and that's an arc. Okay, so look at the next one. What about those 2 red arcs? Are they in the same size circle? They are not. Okay, one of them is in this circle, that's smaller, and this circle is bigger, so this is a big old no. Then look at this last one. So I do have the same arc, but that's not sufficient. I need to have the same size circle, and the fact that the radii are the same, they both have the same single hash mark, that makes this a yes. Okay, so that's what we have there. Okay, so let's see what we have on the next page. Looks like it's the homework. So let's see if we can preview that. So looking at this, you should be able to fill this in. Remember that you know you have 360 degrees in the entire thing. And look what I see here. I am seeing this is the diameter right there. Okay, so you're going to have 180 degrees on each side. You should be able to figure that out. QS is the diameter. So QS is the diameter. Okay, see if you can figure out these arcs. Those would be nice. And then use what I just did in the very last example in the notes. You should be able to talk about congruent arcs. Okay, and that's it for the homework. So do that homework and post it before the start of next class. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening.